Alright, Shalom, Shalom. It's your brother Yaquab from the GMS Chicago branch coming at you another lesson through the Spirit by Yabash Shai. Before I start off, I'd like to start by giving all praise and glory due to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakakodash. I belong to the positive great millstone or will. His like this, all you brethren around the focus on earth, pushing his word and truth, sincerity with charity. Alright, in today's lesson, I'm going to touch on, basically taking care of your body, man. Alright, because I was reading Sirach earlier, right? And the spirit, just had me hearkening on these few verses all day, man, right? Because, of course, in this society, it's easy to, choose the bad, man. All right, it's easy to be lazy. All right, it's easy to sit around all day or, just not be physical at all, as much as you like. Of course, you go to work or whatever. But other than that, it's easy to just, sit around. All right, it's easy to choose the bad foods, man. All right, things that we know is not, necessarily good. Of course, the scripture talks about we're going to eat our bread defiled amongst the Gentiles. Right, everything is defiled, but, there's better options, there's good options and, it's like there's bad options and there's better options, and we just have to, be mindful, about, our diets, man. All right. Because, not taking care of yourself properly, all right, can lead to a plethora, of things, man, such as, being obese. All right. Certain diseases, man. All right. Aches in the body. All right. Disease going to dis-ease. All right. In the body, man. All right. Mental battles, man. All right. Depression, anxiety, right? Alzheimer's, early onset Alzheimer's, all these different diseases and whatnot that come from eating, a lot of this ultra processed food, man. Right. And we have to, of course, in the world, we ain't know any better. Some of us didn't, and Jake just ate whatever, they moms or pops brought in the crib, man. Cereal, Fruit Loops, you know what I'm saying? Pizza, hot dogs, hamburgers, fried chicken, all this food that's, not necessarily good for us, man. All right. But, in this truth, man, we became new creatures. We not only learned, the wisdom of the scriptures, but we learned, wisdom of how to live in day-to-day life, man. Right? So I'm going to bring out these precepts. This is Sirach 14:11. It says, "My son, according to thy ability, do good to thyself and give the Lord his due offering." Right? So, according to your ability, man. Now, I ain't saying you got to get organic everything, man. All right? But, according to your ability, do the best you can, man. Try and eat, as fresh, and as non-processed as possible, man. Right? So that your body, right, can receive more nourishment, so that you can feel better, right? So that you won't have so much, excess of fat, right? Or you won't be so lethargic, so forth and so on, man. These things play a big role, in your everyday life, man. The foods that you eat, man, right? This is Sirach chapter 30 and verse 25. It says, a cheerful and good heart will have a care of his meat and diet, right? So a cheerful and good heart will have a care of his meat and diet, man, right? So food can actually make you feel, more depressed, man. More down in spirit. Here it is, you eating, God knows what, before bed. All right, then you wake up and you wonder why you feeling off, man. You feeling sleepy still, so forth and so on. All these different problems, right? It could very well, be the food that you're eating, man. So, some brothers do keto diet. Some brothers, do fruit fast, juice and fast, carnivore diets, man. Right, so forth and so on, or just eat, whole foods all around the board, man. Right? And those are very good options, man. You know, and I'm pretty sure, because I can attest to, my own journey. Hey, when you eat better, you feel 100% better, man. Right? Compared to when you're eating garbage, man. So we have to, make sure that we're putting, the right things in our body, man. Because Esau, hey, he weaponized the food, man. Right? The food is, food is meant to nourish us and help us and heal us and so forth and so on. All right, but Esau, he done took all the nutrients out and put, all these different sugars and salts and, starches and, everything that, don't need to be in it, man. All right. And it's highly palatable, right? He didn't put all these different chemicals in it to, send dopamine senses to your brain, man, right? So you crave the bad shit, all right? And you don't crave the good shit, But, hey, when you actually change your diet up for a nice amount of time, you're going to not even crave that bad shit. And you're going to realize that the good shit was the shit that actually make you feel better instead of just that fake feeling, man, which, Esau put these chemicals in the food, man, right? So it says a cheerful and good heart will have care of his meat and diet, This is Sirach 18:32. It says, take not pleasure in much good cheer, neither be tied to the expense thereof, right? And that could be with anything, man. That could be, eating out, right? Jake want to just kick back and feel good, so Jake go get that that fast food, man, right? That comfort food they call it. That could be drinking, right? Jake want to have fun, or feel good, so go get that drink. Now, there's nothing wrong with things being done in moderation, right? But it says, take not pleasure in much good cheer, right? It says, neither be tied to the expense thereof. Right, so don't just be doing it every day, man. Just to my comfort food. You just doing it because it feel good in the moment, man. Right. So every day you eating out, every day you drinking, right? Because you're taking much good pleasure. It's like you taking much good pleasure and good cheer. You're tied to the expense thereof, man, and that's what's going to fuck you up in the long run, man. Salaki. That's what's going to fuck you up in the long run, man. We have to, exercise discipline, man. All right? We have to put our bodies under subjection, man. We have to use these words, use these scriptures, use this wisdom that the Lord gave us, in our everyday life, man. Right? This is 1 Timothy 4:8. It says, for bodily exercise profiteth little, but godliness is profitable unto all things, having promise